your mind get clear. Welcome your heart to this place called
Think about this, about what it says about Donald Trump, whose company he keeps, and who he enjoys.
I'm so excited to be moving towards a ministry that is bringing science of mind and new thought, ideas, and principles to recovery. That is my passion in working with people who are moving through their recovery and maybe ready for the next step. In the big book of Alcoholics Anonymous, it says, we are given a daily reprieve contingent on the maintenance of our spiritual condition. And that's what I want to focus on, that maintenance of our spiritual condition. And really, how do we take that to the next step? Not just maintaining it, but how do we grow it? How do we enhance it? How do we create these amazing, vibrant, fulfilled lives in recovery that allow us to be what we are meant to be on this planet and who we have come here to be? When I talk about recovery community, I mean people recovering from whatever it is that they feel has been holding them back from the truth of who they are.
Hello, my beautiful community. I am so excited to be introducing a new class that I'm going to be facilitating called Spiritual Principles and Practices. And it is going to be offered beginning September 22nd on Tuesday evenings from 6:30 to 8:30. And in this class, it's one of the new classes that's been handed out by Home Office. So I'm super excited. It's brand new curriculum for all of us. And we're really just going to be working on what does living our best life look like, and how do we practice? Because it's true that we're all just practicing to create the life of our dreams. So please join me. I'm super excited to be offering this class and to see all of you on Zoom. This is one of the classes that is needed if you would like to continue with your practitioner studies. So please call the office to register with Mary or Reverend Jay, and I look forward to seeing y'all on the 22nd. I love you all.
Good morning. Such a pleasure to have everybody here online with the Napa Valley Center for Spiritual Living. I'm Reverend Jay Lang. I'm so excited to have you. I'm actually excited that you can actually hear me this week. That's a bonus. So we're glad to have you here joining us. And we have a lot of excitement in the service today. We're going to begin with music by Jami Lula, opening us up with a community chant. Here's Jami.
Amy. Good morning, y'all. All are welcome here. Bring a friend. Tell a friend. Hey, everybody, come on down. Hey, everybody, gather around. Hey, everybody, bring a friend. Come and help me sing. All are welcome here. Lay your burdens down. All are welcome here. We're on hallowed ground. All are welcome here. We'll break our bread with you. All are welcome here. Help you find your truth. All are welcome here. Everybody now, all are welcome. All are welcome here. All are welcome here. Hey, everybody, come on down. Hey, everybody, gather around. Hey, everybody, bring a friend. Hey, everybody, come and help me sing. All are welcome here. Lay your burdens down. All are welcome here. You're on hallowed ground. All are welcome here. We'll break our bread with you. All are welcome here. Help you find your truth. All are welcome here. Everybody now. All are welcome here. All are welcome here. All are welcome here. One more time now. All are welcome here. All are welcome here. All are welcome here. All are welcome here.
Thank you, Jami. You're amazing. You know, we
Thank you,
sing that song often, and to have you be the person, because it's your song, to bring us in and just welcome everybody. Thank you so much. All are welcome here, and we want to welcome you if you happen to be here for the first time or your, what is it, 100th time probably by now. We've been going on this online, but I appreciate your support and your participation. Your consciousness here present with us is the same as whether you were here in person or online, so we just thank you for being here. And we also want to especially greet those who might be here for the first time who found us on Facebook or YouTube. Thank you for being with us today. And we just want to raise our hands with a blessing today. We say, we bless you today, knowing that the peace and happiness you seek is also seeking you. We honor your inner radiance as you let your light shine in the world. We are grateful for your presence in our community. So glad you're with us today. And we also like to do our vision and mission statement. We are an inclusive community for spiritual growth and compassionate action. And our mission, we are co-creating a world that works for everyone by living intentionally, loving unconditionally, and seeing God in all people and all faiths. Such a glorious affirmation for today. I just want to take a moment before we go too much further in the service to share our sorrow over the passing of Ruth Bader Ginsburg. No matter what your political views are, we can admire her integrity, her tenacity, and her aliveness, the aliveness that was in her. I always believe that purpose and passion keep us more alive than probably what we eat or drink in a lot of ways. And I think it's fitting, being that she grew up in the Jewish culture, that she died on the first day of Rosh Hashanah. And I personally plan to keep Shiva, as it's called in the Jewish tradition, for her during these 3 days before I get too engaged in political discussions at all. I know the news quickly goes to that, and I just turned it off because I want to stay in this place of honoring who she is and the bright person, the bright light she was in the world, and just honor this truth of who she was. I honor that she was such a strong advocate for women and black, indigenous people of color. And she'll be remembered as a defender of the Constitution. And I also like the quote that I saw from her this week. This is a great picture of her, I thought. But that there's a sense that time is precious and you should enjoy and thrive in what you're doing to the hilt. I just love that. And then the other one, because I think she did that, and it inspires me to do the same way, to live fully and completely. I mean, she was a jurist until literally the day she died. I also like this one, that you fight for the things you care about, but do it in a way that will lead others to join you, which reminds me of Ernest Holmes talking about that we want to be for something and against nothing. So we don't create enemies, we don't create people to oppose us. Instead, we do it in a way that invites people to be part of a dialogue, to be part of this, joining us in this way. And I also loved her quote about, my mother told me to be a lady, and for her, Ruth Bader Ginsburg said, that meant to be your own person, to be independent. And if there was anything she was, the Ruth Bader Ginsburg was, she was independent. So we just bless her right where she is in her next expression. So in this Rosh Hashanah, that is a new year for the Jews, this is her new expression as she moves forward, and we just bless that. So I also want to let you know a few things going on around the center. This is the last Sunday to register for Kristen Moore's class, Spiritual Principles and Practice. It's a great way to develop a practice in your own life and to create an intention that you want to do through this practice. It's only a 5-week class, but it starts this Tuesday. So make sure you go online and register, or call Mary in the office. And I think she has a little video.
Hello, my beautiful community. I am so excited to be introducing a new class that I'm going to be facilitating called Spiritual Principles and Practices. And it is going to be offered beginning September 22nd on Tuesday evenings from 6:30 to 8:30. And in this class, it's one of the new classes that's been handed out by Home Office. So I'm super excited. It's brand new curriculum for all of us. And we're really just going to be working on what does living our best life look like, and how do we practice, because it's true that we're all just practicing to create the life of our dreams. So please join me. I'm super excited to be offering this class and to see all of you on Zoom. This is one of the classes that is needed if you would like to continue with your practitioner studies. So please call the office to register with Mary or Reverend Jay, and I look forward to seeing y'all on the 22nd. I love you all.
The other thing that's of big importance right now, we've been talking about this sip and savor for weeks now, but now it is upon us. It is the time now to get engaged. So I want to tell you a little bit more about the details about it. So it is next Saturday, this coming Saturday, I should say, And we have some exciting things, including Karen Drucker is going to be the musician. I'll be the MC, and Barry Martin's going to be the auctioneer. It's only an hour long, so just from 4 to 5 p.m. you need to be a part of it then. And you can pre-register. There's a link on our website, as well as, and it's through something called PayB, and you only need to put your email down, and so that gives you the links to be a part of the fun and the music and the excitement that we're going to be doing. I hope you can join us for that. And then additionally, we're going to start a silent auction that's going to begin on, let me pull that up. The silent auction that's going to begin on Wednesday and go through Saturday, and this is going to have over 50 items of home decor, clothing, wine, adventures, like going on I'm going to lead a group for a forest bath. I'm also going to do a vegetarian gourmet meal for a group of 6. So different things that you can bid on, and you'll be able to look at it on Wednesday, view it, maybe begin to bid, and then keep checking on it from time to time to see how your favorite items are doing. So that's going to be a 4-day window from Wednesday to Saturday. It'll end about the time that the gala starts, and then we're going to move into the music and the festivities on Friday. And then there are, so there will also be a live auction that's part of the gala, and this is going to be some bigger things, some groups of wine that we have for sale, wine boxes, gifts to things. You know, Christmas is not that far off, birthdays, anniversaries, and all that kind of thing. So I think that'll be real exciting, and you'll be able to bid on those live, and just like we had some trips. What's great about those silent and those live auctions is all of them have been donated by community members. So unlike last year, 100% of your auction money goes to our center and benefits that the vision and mission we have to love intentionally and live and love unconditionally, and just being the presence and seeing God in all people and all faiths and all the in-reach and outreach we do. So we're real excited about that. Now, I will also let you know there are a few tickets left for the mini wine tastings that we have, and you can go, there's a site link for that to go to Eventbrite to get those. For $20, you get a kit with 4 different wines, and you'll have somebody walking you through what those wines are. They're actually going to be mystery wines. You won't be able to know what they are ahead of time, and you'll be told. It's a kind of a fun way to taste wines. And then if you're so interested in wanting to get the enhanced package, you get with the mini kit, you get 1 wine glass. With the enhanced, you get the mini kit, so you could participate in that, and you get 2 wine glasses and 2 bottles of wine. What a deal, right? And so go on Eventbrite with the links now. You have to do that by tomorrow because we have to put these kits together, and then you'll pick them up Thursday or Friday at the office. Mary will have those ready. So these are exciting things. I hope you can join us. Bring friends. Tell friends about it. I'll send an email out tomorrow that puts all these links that you can easily forward to friends and let them know about this big event, because we want as many people to join in the festivities. And it's really a celebration of our beloved community that we're creating right here in Napa Valley and beyond. The spread of this goes beyond our own doors, obviously, of this building, but also outside this valley. So thank you for participating. Thank you for being a part of this. Now we will begin the sacred part of our service with more music from Jami Lula.
Good morning, Napa Valley. Into your hands I commit my spirit. Into your hands I commit my soul. Into your hands I surrender. Into your hands, oh Lord. I don't know what the divine plan is, can't make sense of what I can't see, yet I know that it's in order beyond my wildest dreams. Into your hands I commit my spirit. Into your hands I commit my soul. Into your hands I surrender. Into your hands, oh Lord. Into your hands, oh Lord. Into your hands, oh Lord.
So into Spirit's hands, we allow ourselves to surrender. Just breathe that in and be in that place of allowing Spirit to be that which we seek. If it's peace or joy or love or whatever it may be, these God qualities that we know to be the Spirit within us. We just allow this to be the truth of who we are. We know this service is one of revelation, one of truth, one of power for us, for each person, the message, the music, the sharing. It's all God. And wherever you are, I know God is. Wherever each person in this planet is, God is. For God is everywhere, and God is all. And for this we're grateful as we step into a time of quietness and self-reflection in a moment of silence. And so it is. So today, if you, you probably figured out by now that instead of a practitioner, I did the prayer and meditation this morning. And that's because the self-reflection today, I have invited a fellow minister. Her name is Reverend Steph St. Amand. I'm going to bring her in the room right now. And welcome. So what I want to tell you about Reverend Steph is she's an ordained minister with the Centers for Spiritual Living, an international speaker, and probably most importantly, a cultivator of radical joy. As a personal coach, she has a big vision focus for awakening community for its spiritual magnificence. And she completed her ministerial studies in 2014. She co-founded a new work with her spouse and co-minister Tammy in British Columbia. And as she leaped onto the social media, and she'll talk more about that this morning, but in 2017, She had a dynamic daily practice for people across the globe with her program, Wake Up, Say Thank You, every weekday morning, and you can catch that on Facebook. And now, following the call of Spirit, she's reimagining that ministry to be called One Love Awakening now, where they're creating virtual soul communities of awakening humans, awakening humanity, and providing spiritual nourishment for the awakening heart, mind, and spirit. So welcome, 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 Steph.
Thank you so much for having me.
I'm so glad you're here with us.
I am grateful to be here, glad to be here. It is a joy.
That's great. I think I'm gonna, we've got some feedback, so I'm just gonna go this way here for now. And you can still hear me, right?
I can, yes.
Okay, great. So what I want to do is just say, first of all, I just honor everything about you and who you are, and the presence you are online. And I heard a story this week a little bit from you about how you came about creating this online ministry. So I'd like just for you to share about your story, about how that all came forward.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, one morning I woke up, and it wasn't something that was new to me. But that morning, it was a Thursday, and it was August 3rd, and I woke up, and I just knew that something in my life had to change. I had been a minister for 3 years, and I was allowing fear to dictate everything I was doing, to only listen to voices that were saying I wasn't good enough, I wasn't capable enough. And so that morning I just woke up and I broke up with fear. I literally turned towards the wall of fear and began breaking up. I centered myself in that moment and just recognized that I was not going to allow fear to dictate my life anymore. It was the last abusive relationship I was going to be involved in. And something inside of me that was love, something inside of me that was explosive. If I didn't break up with fear in that moment, that I didn't know if I was going to stay in one piece. And so I looked fear in the face and I said, this isn't going to happen anymore. This is an abusive relationship. I can't be with you anymore. Thank you for everything that you've taught me, everything I've grown through because of your presence. And right now I need just the clean slate. I need to let it go. And the reason I broke up with fear in that morning was because I knew that spiritual mind treatment, spiritual practice, the science of mind needed to get into the world. And I was seeing it in little pieces and seeing that there was this platform of Facebook Live. I was watching all of these amazing people do Facebook Live and just so easily. And I just thought that this teaching needs to be in the world. There's something inside of me that needs to expand and grow and evolve, or I'm going to explode into a million little pieces. And so that morning I woke up and I said, thank you. And I got on Facebook Live for the very first time and did it was hilarious actually, because what is now 17 to 20 minutes every weekday, my first one was 40 seconds and I got on, I faced my fear and I got off, and it was a beautiful experience. And the reason that breakup for me meant so much was because I had a very long-term relationship with fear. I was from mid-teens to the age of 27, living in a place of chronic anxiety disorder. And at 27, I was diagnosed with chronic anxiety disorder and severe depression. And so there were days in my life, there were weeks in my life, there were months in my life where I didn't leave my basement or didn't leave my room. There was moments where the fear of just being in the presence of something or someone would cause me such a great anxiety. Waiting for the bus, I would have anxiety attacks. And so it's simple to just wake up one morning, hit a switch and say, okay, I'm fearless now. When you don't have that relationship with fear, like I had a relationship with fear, the living in anxiety 24/7, woke up with anxiety, went to bed with anxiety. And so pushing through fear is the key to freedom. Now, after 3 years of wake up, say thank you, the importance of that daily spiritual practice is that the benefits of waking up into a place of gratitude, waking up to all of those life lessons that got you to this moment, this moment that took 100% of successful days to get here, no matter how sticky or how sweet those days were. Every morsel and every moment of life is this sacred, special, magnificent gift. And so breaking up with fear in that moment, and 3 years later, I now have a relationship with that precious soul that is within me and not with the external expression of fear, listening to presence. So waking up and saying thank you has changed my life. After 3 years, we just celebrated 3 years in August, and moving from fear to faith and fueling faith with faith, recognizing that spiritual practice, daily spiritual practice, allows us to wake up. I was thinking about there are many steps on the journey. There are many steps on the journey, but you only have to wake up once. And fear is still present. There's still fear to move through, but fear no longer is a blockage or a wall to come up against. It is something that we simply just move through. And because of that expression and spiritual practice daily, that the enrichment of life that is expanding from that, how it shows up in the fearlessness is when spirit speaks to you, when you get that divine call, that's something inside of you. If you don't do this one thing or you're going to explode, you have to answer those calls. So without wake up, say thank you, without that breaking up of that last abusive relationship I'm ever going to be in, 6 months later, I was on the leadership council for Centers for Spiritual Living, and I've lost 70 pounds, and I have never felt more free in my life by simply being in spiritual practice, not only for myself, but for all of humanity. That's the beautiful thing about spiritual practice in community, is that when we feel fear, there's someone else with us. We can know each other's truth. We can see that divine presence within each of us. And so every morning there's a group of us that are on, and we come together in conscious intention in deep spiritual work. And so much of my life has just been freed and open because of that simple conversation I had with fear, and listening, being able to listen to the divine presence voice over all of the distraction, over all the fear, listening to that sweet voice that wants only good for each and every one of us, to simply be the only voice that we can hear. So that is the one thing. One day I woke up and said thank you, and it was a Thursday.
To people out there, you can see why I wanted to bring her into the room. It's just the idea of breaking up with fear. it doesn't have anything to do with the relationships you may or may not be in right now, just breaking up. So, and that changes, it shifted your life, and I think it shifts everybody's life to do that. So thank you for sharing that. And tell us about what you're doing right now, what kind of, what this new ministry is.
Well, so because of Wake Up, Say Thank You being, it started being a virtual experience. Tammy and I, we started that a community, CSL West Kootenai, back in 2014, and it was it's a small community. So the town itself of Castlegar, British Columbia, is super small, and I had that big call. This science of mind and new thought needs to be in the world in an ever greater way. So moving into a bigger experience was something that Spirit directed Tammy and I to do. So we actually moved from Castlegar in hopes to take on a pulpit in California. While we sold our home, we moved everything into storage, living that fearless adventure of the divine call. And then COVID-19 hit, and our Prime Minister in Canada said, Canadians come home. Our work visa didn't go through before the borders closed. And so this beautiful global paradigm, this shift for everyone, shifted what our ministry looks like, and in such a big way that ministry now is, we are affiliating with Centers for Spiritual Living as a focused ministry of One Love Awakening, and it's a virtual church. It's everything that we would do in a community. We're fulfilling online through One Love Awakening, and starting this new adventure of that the world is big and the world is small, and so we get to participate in this beautiful sharing of love, awakening love and peace and radical joy, and cultivating that goodness in life. All over the world, and right here from our tiny home that is now our new experience since we sold everything, and just listening to Spirit's call, and Spirit just wants love to be the driving force behind the healing adventure in all of us. And so we're gonna do that, be love in this world.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Well, thank you so much for being with us today, and the service you're doing in the world. So catch her on, and you're still doing it on Facebook. You're on Pacific time. So what time?
It's 8 a.m. Pacific on Facebook, One Love Awakening.
All right, good. We'll catch you there. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Blessings to you.
Thank you.
And now a little more of Jami, or maybe a lot more.
Thank you, Steph. Thank you, Jay. This is a new Floyd Lula. I'm sure that it could be used as a chant congregational in your center, but it's called We Are One People, in line with what Steph was just saying. Let me turn up my guitar. Let's all come together and sing this song. When we are united and standing strong, there is nowhere than the heart we share with one another, no other there. We are one people, breathing one air, one human family that we all share. We are one spirit, come from one mind, one heart beating, one life. One heart beating, one life. One heart beating. See our brothers and sisters in everyone. No one's outside the circle, no us and them. Embrace our differences, see what we can learn from one another, with love we affirm. We are one people, breathing one air, from one mind, one heart beating, one life. One heart beating, one life. Oh, one heart beating. We are one people breathing one air. One human family that we all share. We are one spirit, come from one mind. One heart beating, one life. One heart beating, one life. One heart beating, one life.
Thank you so much, Jami. So wonderful to have you with us today. You're always an inspiration to me. I've always called you the soundtrack of my life, and that continues with the new music you're doing. It's wonderful to have you creating, because I know that's the process of Spirit through you. And so thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Today we're continuing a conversation this month about fearless living. And today's topic is faith it until you make it. Now I know that you might have heard the phrase fake it until you make it, but that never resonated with me because I don't want to fake anything. I want to be authentic. And what I know about faith is it's something within me that I can know, and it's not fake at all because I can feel it within me. And if I don't always feel it initially, I can begin walking as if, walking in faith. And what I find is that Spirit comes into me when I'm open and moving and walking and creating in my life, that it allows the space. But if I'm sitting and metaphorically and realistically waiting for a sign, waiting for something to come, a burning bush or a light to come forth, life is going to miss me completely. My ship's going to pass, and I'm not going to have the opportunity to create the life I want. So I want to walk forward with faith, and until Spirit, I feel that connection. Spirit's always here. It's not a question of that. It's a question of whether I am experiencing or not. So I walk forward with this expectancy that I know Spirit is there, and it does open it up. It creates these possibilities. Now, what's interesting about that, in Science of Mind, we often talk about how our thoughts and emotions create our reality. That's kind of a standard principle we talk about here. But the truth is, our behavior also creates our thoughts and emotions. It's called this as-if principle that's based on the philosopher William James, and people have taken it and done research on it and found it to be true, that our behavior does affect how we think and feel. And if we move in this as-if way, in faith, then it will open it up. It will create this. Wayne Dyer said, act as if everything you have is already here. Treat yourself as if you already have what you want to become. Treat yourself as if you are already what you want to become. I just love that. I love Wayne Dyer's work, and I love that this truth that he's expressing, that we can faith it until we make it, until we create that experience that we want. Because in walking towards it, we're opening to possibilities. So a key about this is having the faith of God, not a faith in God. So what I mean by that is the faith of Spirit within us, that we walk forward in knowing this, rather than in a God that's outside of ourselves, or some hero, or something that is outside of ourselves that we're waiting to come to us. Thomas Merton, the philosopher and theologian, said, we can never fully know God if we think of God as an object of capture to be fenced in by the enclosure of our own ideas. We know God better after we let God go. We know God better after we let God go. Now, I know that sounds like double speak, but what he's really saying here is we know God better when we let the idea of God know. We know the Spirit within us better when we let the idea that there is something out there that's separate from us. Instead, we are one and we are all connected. And we can walk forward with this clarity, the faith of God within us. A confidence, I would even call it a Godfidence, that assurance that God is there. And even if we don't feel it now, we move forward and know that this Spirit within us will connect us in this expectancy, this acceptance of life, that we act as if it is already so. The class that we've been taking, that we've been doing on Thursday night on Revealing Wholeness, we've been reading this author named Lissa Rankin. I just love her work. I love her common sense approach to healing, about mind over medicine. And I love this quote she also said here. She said, when comfort, security, and certainty are your primary life values, life becomes very constricted. So when comfort, security, and certainty are your primary life values, life becomes very constricted. All of your energy is expended trying to control life and minimize risk. As long as you believe uncertainty is unsafe, you will guard against it. But when you guard against uncertainty, you block possibility. So if you're waiting for something to happen, if you're waiting for a sign, for something certain, for a clear path ahead of you, then you're blocking the possibilities. Uncertainty can be exactly what the soul needs to shine through. When uncertainty becomes the gateway to the spiritual path, then a journey begins, challenging us to shift from fear of uncertainty to trusting life in the face of that which we don't know. This opens the doorway to step into the unknown. Uncertainty is the frequency of miracles. Uncertainty is the frequency of miracles. Get that one. And then she finishes up by saying, so why would we resist it? I love that. And what I know about science and quantum physics is the smallest particles of matter that we know are called quantums, or the quantum level. And we can't really see that because it's so small, but we can see the effect of it. And what we know about at the quantum level, things are much more random than you might imagine. The things are not predictable at all. And what quantum physics will tell you is that because it's random, when we observe it, when we choose, when we intend, then we can align what appears to be solid matter into that which we choose, that which we intend, that as we act as if it is already so, healing happens. Relationships shift, our career and our purpose, our finances, it all shifts because things at the quantum level are still to be decided in this very moment, and it is our choice, our intention, our clarity that moves it into alignment to that which we seek. And it's important that we continue to act as if in this way. I heard a story of a elderly man who a friend of mine was telling me about. He watched him go into a church, and he was hobbled over and in obvious pain when he went into the church. And when he came back, he was bright and walked with a quick step out there. And my friend stopped and goes, well, what happened? Did you get a revelation? Did Spirit heal you? Did somebody inside heal you? What happened? And he goes, oh, no, I last week I was at church, and I took somebody else's cane. I went in and got my cane, which is 6 inches taller. So now I can walk upright. Sometimes it's just walking with this uprightness that is clear, that opens us up, that we recognize what is keeping us down, what is keeping us constricted and afraid. When we walk upright, we recognize that which is our resistance. And we can let that go. We can break up with fear, as Reverend Steph said. break up with fear, break up with that, because that's not who we really are. We walk boldly and knowing that it creates in this way. I know that there's a story about Ernest Holmes that I just love this story, that he was with someone who was driving him to a location, and Ernest accidentally stuck his hand in the door. And if you've ever done that, you know it hurts like heck. And it can swell up. And his friend suddenly reacted to it, go, oh no, and Ernest just put his hand up and said to be in prayer. And Ernest covered his hand up without looking at it and just was quiet for a moment. When he took his hand away, it was a little red, but there was no swelling. There was no concern, no problems at all. Because he had not observed it, or he didn't put energy into it being problems. This is this randomness that I'm talking about. What I know about my own health is that sometimes in my body I felt a misalignment. There were no symptoms that I experienced, but I was a misalignment in my body. I could feel something not quite right, so I closed things down. I slowed things down. And I went into prayer and aligned my body. And I don't know if it kept me from getting sick or if it just made me feel better in the moment, a realigned spirit. It doesn't matter in a way that I heard the call in my body to slow down and listen and pay attention in this way. And this is what we need to know, that this is the way that when we are clear, when we open up to Spirit in this as if it is so, then we can be this clarity, this truth that we know. So this, as I mentioned, this work by William James, the 19th century philosopher, was talked about in a book called Richard Weissman, To Act As If. And in it, Richard Weissman talks about several studies that were done where participants were outfitted with facial electrodes just for monitoring, nothing that was painful or anything, but they were asked to smile, and when they smiled, they began to feel happier. Not just continence you could see, but physiologically they could see and measure the difference in the body. People who took long steps, walked with a bounce, and let their arms swing back and forth tended to feel happier than shufflers and people who take small steps and have drooping shoulders. Running away makes us afraid. Once again, this is physiologically measured. While standing firm makes us bold and absolutely connected in that way. If we're apathetic towards a project, research says those who pretended to enjoy the activity actually did enjoy the activity after a while. In our New Thought lineage, so New Thought is all the Centers for Spiritual Living, Unity, other independent centers like Agape and other centers that we were all taught by people who were taught by people who were taught by people. And one of the original in this lineage of teachers' name was Phineas Quimby. Now, Phineas Quimby didn't know anything about New Thought or what that meant, but he was a watchmaker. He contracted tuberculosis in the early 1800s, and he tried different things for healing, and nothing seemed to work to the doctors at the time. What he found, though, when he did something what he called intense excitement, like galloping on his horse, it alleviated his pain for brief periods of time. So he began to think the mind had an ability to heal in some way. So he began to experiment with hypnotism and using magnets, and he started doing public demonstrations of this work, and it was doing miraculous things. But one day on the way to a public demonstration, a public showing, he forgot his magnets. And so he did it just like he did without the tools, and it worked just as well. So he realized it wasn't about the magnets or about a hypnotism or about the galloping. It was it was mostly mind and the way we can create with our mind. And we talk about that because it's a lineage of our teachers who went on to, as I say, teach teachers and teach other teachers. And this new thought term was coined because it's a new thought, a positive thought changes our reality. However, the story is also interesting because he did this thing about intense excitement. He moved his body and he felt shifts. So it's both a mental thing and a body thing, and we walked as if, and in that way we're leaving room for possibility, leaving room for Spirit to come within us if we act as if something is already so. Fear is meant to be a temporary emotion, not a permanent response to life. Yes, there are times fear gets us out of the burning building, away from the floods that are coming. But it continues to be a response when someone pulls in front of us when we're in a car, or when someone says something like, "Oh, we need to talk." Then you get this fear response when it's really this opportunity for us. Remember what Lissa Rankin said about this being an opportunity. This uncertainty is the frequency of miracles. I just can't keep saying that enough again for me to hear it at least. Uncertainty is the frequency of miracles. And what I know is we walk down this path of as if creating. If you imagine it, like I remember last week I talked about Dorothy and the yellow brick road, that, this journey she went on. It was always within her, but she needed to go on the journey to find it. We need to go on the journey to find what is here in the same way. I also know in this path that things at times out of curiosity, we step off the path sometimes, or sometimes we're knocked off the path by life circumstances. And what we find off the path is actually our path was brick or rock or gravel, but off the path is where the green is. It's where the mud and the moisture is, and that's where we're planting the seeds. Remember what the Hindus say, that no mud, no lotus. In other words, we need the messy part of life to grow the seeds that we want to. So we have a path, but when we get knocked off the path or we choose to go off the path, it is where we can spend some time learning from these lessons that we have in life, learning these setbacks we have, learning about uncertainty, and that is where we can plant the seeds that move us forward, that creates this growth and this abundance and this beauty that we seek. The power of life comes forth as we're moving forward. The possibility that we seek is opening up to Spirit in this moment, because this uncertainty is the frequency of miracles. I go back to the words of Ruth Bader Ginsburg, who said, real change, enduring change, happens one step at a time. Real change, enduring change, happens one step at a time. She goes on to say, don't be distracted by emotions like anger, envy, resentment. Those just zap energy and waste time. Often in life, she goes on to say, things that you regard as an impediment turn out to be a great, great fortune. There it is, the mud, there it is again, an impediment. And it turns out to be a great fortune because in that uncertainty, we're able to plant the seeds of our growth, of our future creation in our life that we just allow to be. I was at a minister's conference last week, and Ricky Byers was singing, and she had a new song that said, and it just went, walk, walk, walk like someone really loves you. Walk, walk, walk like someone loves you too. Maybe that's the way we need to walk in life. Like someone really loves you, and like someone you really love. To remember that in everything we do, the joy to be the truth we are in all aspects of our lives. So let us act as if, let's walk in love, and let's be in love with life. And allow, as we walk forward, the possibilities to come forth as we open to Spirit, creating through us, as us, this magic of life. I have a affirmation for us here. If I can. So I surrender into the grace of one knowing. I surrender into the grace of one knowing. I'm divinely guided in all I do. I'm divinely guided in all I do. And we know this to be the truth as we go into prayer. So we just allow ourselves to feel this deep connection with Spirit in this moment, knowing it is always with us, always, always, always. And even when we don't feel it, or don't feel connected, or feel separate in some ways, we know that if we walk forward in expectancy, in openness, in knowing already that what we seek is happening, then Spirit will infill in this opening in our heart. And we know this to be true right now, that as we open our heart, open the truth of who we are, the Spirit is there. I know in this moment any prayer request you might have for healing or for prosperity or for deeper connection is heard by the universe, and it is responding to your request, whether it be for you or another person. It is heard and it is known. I know this to be the truth of who we are in this very moment. And so it is. And now I bring Jami back into the room.
Walk a mile or a minute in another man's shoes. He's got a path to take to find his truth. Any way you spin it, he's a lot like you. Finding his faith on roads that you never choose. Keep on walking. Keep on walking. Don't let it cloud your vision. Love be your only mission always. Let go of the old condition. Let love be your only mission always. Keep on walking. Keep on walking. Till I tell you're in it, hear a brother man's blues. Got a destination now and no excuse. Why do you condemn it when it's not your own? You can't unsee it once the light has shone. Keep on walking. Keep on walking. Don't let it cloud your vision. Love be your only mission always. Let go of the old condition. Let love be your only mission always. Keep on walking. Keep on walking. One foot in front of the other, hand in hand, one with another. Walk with your sister and brother always. One foot in front of the other, hand in hand, one with another. Walk with your sister and brother always. Come on, y'all. One foot in front of the other, hand in hand, one with another. Walk with your sister and brother always. One more time. One foot in front of the other, hand in hand, one with another. Walk with your sister and brother always. Oh, don't let it cloud your vision. Love be your only mission always. keep on walking. Keep on walking. Oh, keep on walking. Keep on walking. Oh, one foot in front of the other, hand in hand, one with another. Walk with your sister and brother always. One foot in front of the other, hand in hand, one with another. Walk with your sister and brother always.
Well, was that one of your new ones? That's a great
song. Thank you, thank you. That's another Floyd Lula song. We've written quite a bit of music in chorus.
That's awesome. Well, and it really fit with today's message. So thank you.
Yeah, that's.
So much.
I always like. Wait, okay. What's Jay got to say?
All right.
Thank you, brother.
I guess I got fuzzy during my talk. I thank you for sticking with me. It was just that mystical thing. I was just going into the other realm. So, or so I say. I think it was actually Comcast. God bless Comcast. So. This is a time in our service when we appreciate those people who have given to us, or if you've given online, you're welcome to do that right now on PayPal, on the link paypal.me/NVCSL. We appreciate all the donations you've given us in supporting our vision and mission, as well as continued support for the Sip and Savor. I can't talk about that enough because it's going to be so much fun. And I just have checks that we've mailed in the sharing of abundance plate here, and I'll also symbolically bring in those electronic giving that you've given to us into this blessing. And what I know is the divine love as us blesses and multiplies all that we are, all that we have, and all that we circulate. And I am so grateful. And so it is. We also bless all our children and families as they continue to learn from home at this time and are looking forward to being able to be with their friends, I know. But I bless all the parents who are doing the online learning and helping with that and knowing that. So we just have an affirmation for that as well. We love you. We care about you. And we're here for you. And finally, after the service, we have our Zoom link. Please join us for that. And the Zoom link should be up on running. It's the same one we've been using, but it'll be posted there for you to be able to go on after the service. And then for the community affirmation, which is always my favorite thing to do, I think, in the service. So repeat after me. Something wonderful is happening through me right now.
Something wonderful is happening through me right now.
I am led by Spirit.
I am led by Spirit.
I am guided by wisdom.
I am guided by wisdom.
I am protected by love.
I am protected by love.
I am here to be a blessing.
I am here to be a blessing.
I am so grateful.
I'm so grateful.
And so it is.
We are the harvest. We are the ones we've been waiting for. We are the love that we seek. We are the seeds we are sowing. We are the harvest we reap. If you know it, sing along. We are the ones we've been waiting for. We are the love that we seek. We are the seeds we are sowing. We are the harvest we reap. I am, oh, I am that I am. Oh, I am that I am. We are the ones we've been waiting for. We are the love that we seek. We are the seeds we are sowing. We are the harvest we reap. I am, oh, I am that I am. Oh, I am that the love that we seek. We are the seeds we are sowing. We are the harvest we reap. One more time. We are the ones we've been waiting for. We are the love that we seek. We are the seeds we are sowing. We are the harvest we reap. We are the harvest we reap. We are the harvest we reap.
Loving this new music. So as we go forward, we know we just act as if, and we know Spirit fills in our heart, and this is truth of who we are. And we are so grateful. And so it is.
So it is.
Have a wonderful day. Join us for Zoom, and make sure you join us for Sip and Savor on Saturday. Blessings to everybody.